today's video is about a couple things. It is a weekly report, and this week has been weird. You guys know about how Nate Yabu Dabu, the guy in Israel, he like did a little fake interview and they just all walked out on him. Not all of them, but most. And then what's funny is that I watched the interview, not the interview, like the speech he was giving, and he was like talking about. He was like, "I'm gonna do a pop quiz," He was just sounds like, "Who screams death to America?" And he was like listing these like terrorist organizations in the Middle East, right? And then he was like, "Who has killed American and European children?" And it was like the same terrorist groups, and I was like, you're going up there and talking about Americans' problems and European problems, and not even talking about your problems. And to me, this is very clear. As somebody who is pretty like neutrally down the middle of all like political things outside of state like that, I know why he's bringing them up because most Jews are European and American. They don't come from Israel, right? And you should notice if you take history, they literally all came in on big boats and then they got dropped off here. And there were Jewish people in that area, but not nearly as many as other people, right? That's a whole other fiasco. We're not going to talk about it. This week has been a weird week. I'm pretty sure since my last video, they had the Charlie's Cook's funeral, which was like fucking joke. It was a spectacle, and it wasn't respectful. To me, it felt disrespectful. And this is I didn't like Charlie Cook, but I respected him as a person, and I liked him enough to say that I was upset when he died. Like I was upset. It hit me personally because that man was just doing what he loved, and he got killed because I guess people didn't agree with him, and that's an issue for me because whatever. And at the funeral, it was like Donald Trump went up there and started talking like he always does because it makes sense. He was very closely tied to Donald Trump, big card to Joe Biden. And it was like he started talking, but he didn't talk about Charlie Cook that much. He talked about himself, the nation, and how much he hates Democrats, dude. Like, holy shit, how insufferable do you have to be? And how obvious do you have to make it that you're just like some type of sellout to some organization or some group of people to try to push this divide between these two sides even more, the left and the right. Let's push the divide more and let's keep not focusing on the core issue of the one group of people who keep causing issues. And I know some of you guys, and it's always going to be the same thing. It's like, oh, it's the Jews. It's really not the Jews. Well, yeah, there's a lot of Jews involved. It's not mostly Jews. It's mostly just billionaires, but some of them are Jewish. Probably most of them. So yeah, it's mostly the Jews. But like, let's not get into that. And it's I have like a theory developing in my brain because I do that like back then there would be a big public shooting, like a massacre or whatever, and every single time it was always a Republican. It was just always a Republican. And lately we've been seeing these Democratic people killing people, and it's like, is this like a trend now where let's engrave things onto bullets before we shoot people? Like, like what is like why? What are we doing that for? And it's like, oh, deny, dispose, or whatever, that guy. And the other one had Uru sees bulls, pounces, or whatever. And it's like, it feels fake. This doesn't feel like real people going out there and assassinating real people. I think Luigi was the only one that felt real because the guy was smart and it was a very, very, very like well done like assassination. The guy who killed Charlie Cook, dude, like, I mean, he just sniped him, I guess. Well planned out, like, and then but the messages made no sense. And apparently, the one of the fucking ICE agents, who the guy just missed the ICE agents and killed like the immigrants, is like, what the fuck, what the fuck, dude? But I'm pretty sure he had engravings too. I don't know for sure, but it's just like, it seems like a trend. And it feels like somebody's doing it because these are mostly like liberal people, right? Like this left-leaning people doing this now, and it's like, that's very random. very random. Like it hasn't happened as much, at least these politically motivated ones, as much. It feels like something or some group of people are trying to push a civil war and this divide between us is more and more and more and more until we don't want to talk to each other. And isn't that just weird? And then now we have protests in Israel. Now Israel, now that people are doing economic sanctions against them, they're finally like, stop the war. We don't support this. You guys could have done it when they weren't doing economic sanctions, but the second they do economic sanctions, you guys are like, all right, calm down, calm down. We would with them, dude. Give us money, dude. Give us money. Like, it's such a joke. Um, the issues in America, dude, they're getting worse, but they're not getting worse at the same time. Like media speaking, dude, it's so bad right now. It's like everybody generally believes we hate the left, we hate the right, and I don't know why people say this stupid rhetoric, man. It makes no fucking sense, and it's weird because I see a lot of people comment it, but not that many people really talk about it. Donald Trump talks about it openly. He's like, "I hate my enemies, I hate my opponents." So it's basically just means he hates the left. Like you can interpret it like he hates his political rivals. It's like I don't think that's what he meant by it. I think he just meant the left in general, including political rivals. But I'm like, I we need somebody with a brain in office and any office right now. I feel like most positions are being bought out by Israel and multi-billion-dollar companies. We're not being ran. Again, I said this multiple times over and over again. We aren't being ran for us. We're being ran for other people that aren't us. That don't even probably live in our fucking country. That are just billionaires, dude. Like it's such bullshit, and it's so obvious what they're doing. But there's something you can really do about it because we have no power because we aren't band together. And that's exactly the issue. And the last president we had, it's not even Obama. I can just go down the line, but I'm actually just going to do that for fun. Donald Trump, bad economics, just a terrible fucking person in general too. Joe Biden was old. He was fine for the most part, but he was bad on immigration. Obama, old, not old, bad on immigration. Bomb kids in Syria. Who was before him? That was Clinton. Clinton was connected to Epstein. Bad person. I think his economics are bad, like pretty bad. That's the bubble. Like, that's the collapse of the economy. Bush did 9/11. Um, I don't know who came before that. It might have been. It wasn't Carter. It was. I think it was Senior. Was Senior? I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't go that far back. But JFK, he was he was a good president. He had a couple hiccups like the Bay of Pigs and like having sex with Marilyn Redwoods. Like I can't even hate the dude for that. That's kind of a W man. But the fact you were cracking her at the same time as your brother is kind of funny. But like whatever. But he was our last president, and he got assassinated because Israel didn't like the fact that he was trying to deny them from having nuclear weapons. And before he could do that decision or make them like check up on the nuclear weapons and make sure they didn't have any nuclear weapons, he got shot at by a random guy who just wanted to shoot him. And what's funny about that is I'm actually gonna wait. I have a video coming out about that, and you guys are gonna be so excited for it. But yeah, like the people who did 9/11, we knew about them. We just knew who they were. And I don't think Israel did 9/11, guys. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I don't think they did 9/11. I just can't find enough evidence to say they did. Outside of the dancing Israelis and the amount of Mossad agents they had, that's it. But I feel like we need to band together as a nation and just speak to each other, man. Ask, hey, dude, do we like our politicians? No, no, we don't. You have to have a conversation about that. You just know the answer. And it's like, I wonder why. It's because is all our politicians like us? Nope, not even a little bit. How do our politicians act? They're like, oh, I hate everybody. I want one side of my political aisle to live, and I want everyone else to die. It's so funny too because the Middle East conflict, like between the Israel and Palestine, it's like America can support either side, but both sides are like they don't like us very much. Like Israel uses us for our money, and the other people, the Arabs, they want to kill us. Like they don't really like Americans either. They scream death to America and other stuff. But like I know why they scream death to America. You know, if there was a country bombing me 24/7 and like destroyed my economy and destroyed my politics and it's destroyed everything and said bye peace, and it was a rich ass country, I would be pretty mad too. I'm not gonna lie, but they were screaming that and they did attack us first, so I guess like we need to come to an agreement as a world. Just say, what are we fighting about, and can we stop this fighting? And we would probably all agree that we're fighting over basically nothing. And we're gonna just all get together and be like, do we have enough food? Yes. Do we have houses? Yes. Enough people to live? Yes. Can we make the world a better place? Yes. Will the billionaires have to suffer? Yes. Will we have to work hard to get it? Yes. Are we gonna do it? No. No, we won't do it. We won't do it. You know why? That takes effort, energy, and the rich losing money and the poor getting more money. How could we? Don't give the poor money, guys. Don't do it. Take it from them. Hey, you know who has to pay taxes, by the way? I found this out. I didn't find it out. I knew about it. But it's like, oh, by the way, if you're below the poverty line, you still have to pay taxes. You can't afford food. You can barely, you can't afford to live. But you have to give the government money. Do you know how retarded? Like I'm just gonna be honest. Okay, this is so off topic, but like, it is so fucking stupid. They shouldn't have to pay taxes. The upper middle class or the upper class, they should just pay a little bit more. It's like, but I don't want to keep my money. Like, dude, you're complaining about not being able to afford like $100,000 Land Rover with a $2 million house. Like, shut the fuck up, you know? Like, generally, shut the fuck up. I hate when I hate the argument that you can't increase the taxes. I just heard like the weird fucking noise of it. I'm scared now. You can't just increase the taxes for one side of the party. You have to increase taxes for all. Like, son, you're such a victim. I want to tax the rich a lot, like a freakish amount. Not the companies, the rich, like how much they get, but like, can't do that because they are all Jewish. They all pay the government to do what they want. But we need to figure it out, guys. That's today's video. I will see you guys in 2 days for another video, and you will watch that video and love that video, guys. And I love you guys. Bye.